Climate activists and civil society members staged a protest at the UN Climate Summit in Baku, Azerbaijan, condemning the developed nations' proposal to provide what they described as unjust financial aid to developing nations to combat climate change. In response to protests from developing countries, the developed nations increased their financial aid commitment to $300 billion, up from the initial proposal of $250 billion to be provided by 2035.
The last draft that came out at COP29 finally, for the first time, had a number from developed countries. But it was absolutely unacceptable and disgraceful for developed countries, which does not even include grants, which is largely about loans and raising money from multilateral development banks like the World Bank and ADB and others. That's something which is not going to be acceptable to developing countries, and that's why they've gone back and now discussing what the new text could be.
Some activists described the proposal as a strategy by certain developed countries to evade their obligations, arguing that the financial aid offered was insufficient and designed to shift responsibility rather than effectively address the climate crisis.
So we've been saying here that no deal is better than a bad deal, and what's on the table is a very bad deal, not just because the number for finance that's going to be provided to the Global South is too low, but actually because the text here would remove most of the obligations that developed countries have to provide finance at all. So this is the end game of a 10-year U.S. strategy to exit from their obligations to provide finance to the Global South.
Developing nations have been demanding at least $1.3 trillion annually starting in 2025 to address their growing climate challenges. Incidentally, India on Sunday rejected the climate finance package, calling it too little and too distant.